Hey guys, it's Stephanie from My Porch Prints. Welcome back. Today we're going to be making this Halloween house flip flap, and this is just a fun and cute little project for Halloween. Be a really cute project for kiddos or just for the kid inside of you. And it's got all these fun little flips and pieces that go with it. So let's go ahead and get started putting this together. So I printed everything out on cardstock and I cut it all out, and now we're going to be starting with our cover pieces. And you can see we didn't print anything on the backs, so it's plain white. And when we make these pieces and start putting them together, it's possible some of that white is going to show kind of on the folds and on the edges. So to alleviate that, I'm going to be using a little bit of distress ink. Now normally I would use like a darker color, like a black, to match kind of the edges here, but I don't have a black, so I'm going to be using, this is the darkest one that I have, and I'm going to go ahead and just ink those edges to kind of cover up that white. Okay, so I've inked all of the backs of my pieces, and now we can start assembling. Okay, so we're going to start with flip 1, and that's this piece with the door image on it. And you're going to need a blade knife for this part, which is just a knife with a blade on the edge here. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut out this door. And what you want to do is take a look at this other door that goes with this. And it's going to go on basically the back of this one, so when we open it up, it won't be white inside. And you can see where we kind of cut along, you know, the edge here of the door, and that's what you want to do with this one, kind of the blue inner door piece. And what we're going to do, I'm going to start just on this right side, and you can use a ruler for this if you're not comfortable cutting a straight line without one. And I'm just going to cut that, and then I'm going to cut along the bottom of my door right where it hits the steps, all the way over to the frame. And then this is the tricky part. I'm going to cut along the top of the door where it curves, and I'm going to stop just right over here where it becomes like straight, you know, so you can see it's straight here and then it starts to curve. We're going to cut along this curve over to right about here. And that's going to make it so our door can open. And this may not be really precise work because cutting a curve with a blade knife is not easy, but I am going to do my best. Let's see. There we go. Okay. And then, oh, I think I didn't quite get all of that. There we go. We're going to just kind of open that door up and fold it, give it a little like hinge, just like this. And I've got a little white piece here. I think I'm going to try to hide that with a little bit of ink. There we go. All right, and once you've got your door cut, you can take your other door, and we're going to just glue that to the back of this one. And again, you know, if there's white showing, you can always hide that by inking along the edges. And then I'm going to do it on the crease as well. Okay, and I'm going to glue that just so that this door isn't white when you open it up. It'll look like an actual little door. Okay, and so that gives us our little door. And then when we fold this closed, there's going to be a white space in here, and that's where our little ghost goes. He's going to be inside the house. So we just kind of measure where we want him to be, and we'll glue him down inside of here. Okay, so we've got our little door with our little ghost inside. And now we can go ahead and glue this piece closed. So I'm just going to glue kind of along the outside edge here. And then I'm going to glue around this door as well. so we've got our little door with our ghost, and we've got our little tab here. And what we're gonna do is take flip 1 and glue it onto the front of our house. So this is gonna be the front of the house. And we're gonna just glue this onto here. So what I'm gonna do is add glue to the back of this tab, just like this. Make sure you kind of cover the tab. And then I'm gonna position the door on here and glue it down. And if we flip that over, you can see where the tab is glued on the back side here. And that becomes just a little door that flips open. And you can see why we inked the edge here, because otherwise there'd be a white line here. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and open this up, the cover piece, to the white side. And we're gonna locate our other flip pieces. So we've got flip 2 and flip 3. And these can just be glued together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So you can see all we've got is the tab sticking out now, and these are just glued front and back here. Okay, so both of these flips are going to glue onto this larger house piece right here. And how we're going to do that is we're going to glue one on one side and one on the other side so that they can both fold in. Okay, and then when this is closed, you can see that this is going to become like a little house. And there's a little piece that shows right here, and that's fine if you want to allow that. Otherwise, you can raise this up a little higher. It's up to you how you want it to look when you're finished. I'm going to, I think, raise it up. I kind of like that look. You can decide kind of where you want it. And then this one should be hidden back behind here. So it's going to go behind the tall tower and kind of get hidden by this piece. So I'm going to align it kind of with this bottom corner right here. So I'll start with that. So I'm going to put the glue on this side. Of our tab. And then that's going to go just right here in this bottom corner. Just kind of make sure everything's lined up nicely. We'll glue it down. Let it dry a moment, and we'll do the same thing over here. We'll apply glue to the gray side of our tab, and we'll just align it where we want it. I'm gonna raise it up just a little. And then I want to make sure that this can close. And it can. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is cover this piece with this one. And again, it may poke out a little bit. You may see white showing on either side. You can trim that up, or you can try to hide it with some ink. It's up to you. And then we want to make sure this can close. And as you can see, it's kind of bowing just a little bit, which means we might need to do just a little trimming on this piece. Just a little. You can cut that with scissors. I'm going to try to trim it with my trimmer. Hopefully it works for us. Okay, and now that that's fitting in here, I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. And I'm going to see from the back how that's looking. And it looks like we could stand to trim a little bit of it up. You can see where it's poking out on the back. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Okay, so same thing with this one. We're just going to cover this piece. And again, we want to make sure everything's going to fold. So So we may need to do a little trimming to make that happen. And this is popping up over on this side. I'm just going to go ahead and smooth that down again and fold it. And the reason for this is because it has to do with how you cut your items, how you fold your items, the thickness of the cardstock. There's a lot of reasons that things won't fit perfectly together. You know, I designed them to be the right size, but any little factor, like even just cutting something a little smaller or a little bigger, or having, you know, a thicker cardstock can just affect how it goes together. But we should be able to work with it and make it happen. Okay, there we go. So we got our little door here. We've got our tower and our other piece here and the back. So now we can start adding our pockets and decorations. Okay, so next up we're adding the pockets. And we have all these different pockets. Some are bigger, some are smaller, and you can kind of see that the bigger ones fit the bigger pieces. And then smaller ones go on smaller pieces. And then this little guy can go behind your door. Right here. That's where he fits. So we are going to glue these on, and if you want, you know, you could round the corners, ink the edges, whatever you want to do to these. You can also punch like a little circle here just to give it a cuter look, and I think I'm going to do that on these. And then I might also ink my edges. I'm not sure yet. So I'm just going to play around with these and assemble them, and you can kind of see what I do as I go. Okay, so now we've got our pockets on, and we can start decorating and filling our pockets. So to begin with, we have these two pieces that go with the tower, and I just added these in so that we can give it a little dimension. I'm going to be using some puff tape, some mounting tape to kind of attach these and give the roof just a little bit of pop. And just so you know, I did ink the back of these so that if any of it shows, it won't be just a stark white. Okay, and so I'm going to begin decorating the front of this. And you can just pick and choose the pieces that work best for you. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just how you want to put your house together. Okay, so we're all done with our little Halloween house. Let's take a look. Okay, everyone, thanks so much for watching, and we hope that you'll like and subscribe to our channel for more fun craft projects, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!